Small business and entrepreneurship are the backbone of our economy. With the healthy and substantial growth we've seen over the years in small businesses, whether those businesses are digital or physical, we often think in terms of revenue and profit. However, what about savings, investments, and retirement? After all, one of the primary reasons we go into business in the first place is to take care of not only ourselves, but also our loved ones. There are two retirement plans that business owners and the self-employed should take advantage of. While we'll only be talking about the SEP today, in subsequent videos, I will be talking about the solo 401k, so stay tuned. So you've made your money, now what? Well, welcome to your virtual family office. My name is Teron Stokes, I'm the CEO here, and here we discuss on ways how to master your money and build a legacy. Today we'll be talking about the SEP, which is short for Simplified Employer Pension. The purpose of this account really allows small business owners and self-employed to utilize an investment account that allows them to save for the future. It's a great alternative to a qualified plan, primarily because the administration and startup costs are significantly lower, and it allows for more contributions to the account than was typically allowed in, like, say, for example, a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. Formal definition of a SEP is a retirement plan that's similar to traditional IRA. It is designed for both self-employed and business owners of any size. The SEP is a practical retirement plan alternative to a qualified plan that small business and sole practitioners. SEPs are more straightforward to establish than qualified plans and have practically no filing requirements. Because SEPs use IRAs as receptacles for contributions, the plan sponsor has no trust account. And this is good because, again, when you're looking at small business and self-employed, typically we want to keep our expenses down. So that means we want to have an opportunity to really make our money stretch. And so what that looks like, using a SEP as opposed to a qualified plan, you save a significant amount of money when it comes to establishing and maintaining this plan than you would a typical qualified plan like 401k. In addition, SEP have similar characteristics to profit-sharing plans regarding funding limits due to the fact that SEPs are not qualified plans. I said before, they're not 401k plans, and that kind of gets us into some of the things we're going to talk to in the future as it relates to bankruptcy protection. And typically see with IRSA plans like 401ks. We'll dive deeper into that later in the video. Probably sitting there like trying, all right, that's cool. It allows me to use a retirement account that's not as expensive or not as difficult to administer as a 401k. But how is it that I participate in an account like this? So participation in an account is quite easy. If you specifically looking to sponsor this account as a small business owner, it will require nothing more than you must provide the benefits to all employees. Obviously, I think that should make sense. Employees are 21 years old. The performance, they've worked with you for the last 3 to 5 years, and they receive compensation of at least $750, and that's for 2023. And so long as we hit those three metrics, your employees are good to go when it comes to investing in a SEP. There's a caveat that you must know as an employer setting up a SEP for the employee, is that all contributions must be provided to the employee, whether they've worked for you for the entire year or not, or if they passed away. So basically, if they were ever involved at all in the SEP for your company, you have to provide those contributions, whether they've passed away or they've left the firm within that calendar year. So the establishment of SEP is pretty easy. It requires three things: formal written agreement to provide benefits to all eligible employees. And again, those are going to be employees that are at least 21, have been with the firm 3 out of the last 5 years, and have made at least $750 for 2023. You can also satisfy that by simply filling out Form 5302 SEP for the IRS. It satisfies the first requirement. All employees must be given notice of the SEP, which means you can't just create the SEP and not inform all employees who are eligible to participate in the SEP. And number 3, a SEP IRA must be established for everyone who is participating in the SEP. Contributions to a SEP IRA are deductible by the employer, and they're excludable for employees. Contribution to a SEP are generally claimed in the following forms. And this is going to also highlight the different companies that are able to participate in the SEP. Again, this just works for not only self-employed, but small business owners. And so you're going to have partnerships with 1065, C Corp 1120, and S Corp 1120S. An employee's deduction for the contributions to the SEP is claimed on line 16 of 1040 for those who are filling those out. So for far, we discussed primarily the participation, the establishment, and what a SEP is. We talked briefly about some of the benefits to the SEP. Now, these are things that once the money is already in the account, these are some of the benefits that you have as a result of using the SEP IRA as a retirement vehicle. The first of which is investments. Now, because the SEP IRA utilizes an IRA as a receptacle, you're going to see some of the similarities between a SEP IRA as well as a traditional IRA in terms of what you can and cannot invest in. And so that's typically going to be, your stocks, your bonds, your REITs, which is your real estate investment trust, as well as physical real estate. And that's something I want to underline because I know a lot of small business owners as well as self-employed really enjoy the opportunity to own physical real estate. And so that opportunity is presented for you here with the SEP IRA. Now, I will go ahead and provide just a little bit of color and say, hey, that while the SEP IRA is a fantastic vehicle for physical real estate, there is a strong case that the solo 401k, which I'm going to discuss in a different video, is a better vehicle for physical real estate when it comes to ownership. However, the SEP IRA still allows you to benefit from ownership of physical real estate. And then we switch over to kind of the protections that you can expect from a SEP IRA, which really differentiates itself from a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. It really underpins the value of this for a small business owner as well as a self-employed individual. Knowing that we take a lot of risk when you start a business and you take a lot of risk when you trust a smaller business, being that while we can try as hard as we can to make sure the business is successful, sometimes that's not necessarily the case. So what makes the SEP IRA really attractive is that money is protected up to an unlimited amount, and specifically is protected by what we call the Bankruptcy, Abuse Prevention, and Consumer Protection Act of 2005. And so what it does is excludes assets held in a SEP IRA from bankruptcy with no limitation on the amount. And so that means an unlimited amount of money placed into this account is protected from bankruptcy creditors. As well as in general, this means that retirement assets held in a SEP would not be factored into an amount available to pay bankruptcy creditors. Again, that's really just saying what I just said. However, it is important to know that while there is a lot of risk in running a business and working for a small business, understand that the assets that you place into a SEP IRA are protected from bankruptcy creditors, which is a huge point and very valuable attribute of the SEP IRA. And so when we talk about, well, what happens with these assets when you pass away, those assets can bypass probate through a beneficiary election. So now let's talk about contributions. This is the main event. So what really stands out about the SEP IRA, specifically for small business owners as well as self-employed individuals, is the sheer amount of money that you can put into a SEP IRA that literally blows past anything that you can put into a 401k, a Roth IRA, as well as traditional IRA. 25% of covered compensation up to a limit, or $66,000 as of 2023. And that, of course, that number increases over time, which is why I always say stay glued to the IRS website, because they let you know increases in the contribution limits across all the retirement accounts. But I do want to circle back and let you know that that's $66,000 or 25% of covered compensation. Again, that's going to be up to $330,000 in 2023, is a huge point as to why the SEP IRA is immensely attractive for the self-employed as well as a business owner. Now, talking about vesting and withdrawals, again, you got to remember that SEP IRA is very similar to traditional IRA as well as a Roth IRA. And so whatever contributions that are made to the account vest immediately. And so what that means as an employer is that as soon as you put money into a SEP account on behalf of your employee, that money is theirs immediately, which is not a problem at all, primarily being that you want to benefit those who are helping you grow your enterprise. In addition to that, it does have some of the same traditional IRA or Roth IRA penalties associated with the money if it were to be withdrawn from the account in a non-qualified distribution type of way. Here are some of the qualified distributions that we talked about briefly in the traditional IRA versus Roth IRA video, but I just want to spend time to let you guys see those again. So there are ways you can get around the 10% early withdrawal penalty, and those would be for the first time home purchase up to $10,000, birth or adoption of a child, qualify higher education expenses, qualify medical expenses, health insurance premiums when unemployed. However, you still will be taxed at ordinary income for that money. So in summary, understanding that small business owners and self-employed are literally the backbone of the economy, and they take some of the most risk and they employ a lot of people, it only makes sense that the IRS creates a savings vehicle that allows you to take care of your loved ones in the future. While I discuss some of the benefits of the SEP IRA, there is a counterpart, the solo 401k, which will come in a subsequent video. Key takeaways when you're looking at the SEP, and that's primarily going to be the fact that the SEPs are very easy to set up and have very little administrative costs and filing requirements. They allow you to put a substantial amount of money aside, and specifically it's going to be 25% up to that $330,000 cap that the IRS has set forth, or the $66,000. Remember, it's a lesser of the two. And so again, I really have to hit that point that $66,000 put away toward savings and retirement account that's going to be growing, compounded in a tax advantage way is very attractive. Another thing to pay attention to are the protections that you receive in the SEP IRA as opposed to a traditional Roth IRA, and that is unlimited per the BACPA, which allows you to have, in the case of bankruptcy, allows you to have an unlimited amount of protection on the assets that are carried in that account. If you are a business owner, if you are self-employed, there's no reason why you shouldn't be benefiting from the SEP IRA. This is an awesome account that allows you to, again, put away a substantial amount of money when compared to other retirement accounts. It allows you to control those assets in a traditional IRA way, as well as invest in physical real estate if that's something you're interested in. My name is Teron Stokes. I appreciate you stopping by. This is your virtual family office. Here we talk about ways to master your money and build a legacy. If you haven't had a chance, check out some of my other videos where we talk about other high-level concepts